Hello, hello. How is everybody doing this Monday morning? I hope you and your family are safe. I'm Marisa Shadrick. I'm an online content strategist and certified copywriter here with just a little bit of behind the scenes so you can get to know me and then some business tips to help online content creators or online solopreneurs or otherwise known as online entrepreneurs. A lot of what I share is for people that are just starting in the online space. They're trying to navigate, they're trying to figure out where square one is and what the steps are in order to create an online presence. And so that's usually what I cover is for those people that are in startup mode. I love doing it. I'm launching a group coaching session this Thursday. I'm sorry, registration is closed now, but there's more to come. I've got a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I'm going to be presenting in the future, but you can always find me at marisashadrick.com, Resilient Creator, and you'll find more information about what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and I'll be doing these live streams now at this new time at 8:30 in the morning. More about that in just a little bit. So let me close off a little bit here of my windows. And today, we're just going to go over the weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a usual typical weekend. I did take time off because last week, I don't know if any of you remember, but I had one day where I wasn't feeling so well. So I thought I need to reassess some things and make sure that I have time for me, getting enough rest, getting enough exercise, that type of thing. So I was thinking about it all week long and took the weekend off, did the usual stuff that most people do. Laundry, some cleaning. I won't say I cleaned everything, but I did do some cleaning. And then my daughter cooked dinner. My daughter and my granddaughter live with us, and she cooked dinner Saturday night, and it was delicious. She marinated a steak, and I don't know what she did to it, but it was like the best thing I've ever had. And she baked asparagus with some cheese on top of it. It was delicious. And then that night, we decided to go camping again. We did that once before, and we just loved it. And this time we have a 2-man tent that we fit 3 people. So my daughter and I, my granddaughter, we all scrunched in the tent. The weather is beautiful here in Las Vegas right now, and it doesn't stay like this for very long. This is when we take advantage of the outdoors as much as we can with the pandemic and practicing social distancing and the quarantine, self-quarantine. We're doing it in the backyard, right? So we did the camping thing and took my iPad out there, and we watched a movie on Saturday night. Sunday I cooked. We're on a keto lifestyle, and so I cooked. I got a new recipe book that I mentioned last week, keto recipe book for Crock-Pot. And so I made a gumbo that was awesome. And then I topped it off with a chocolate cheesecake, keto style. It was to die for. It was really good. I was like the highlight of the weekend because when you're on keto, you can't have too much chocolate. So this was really, really good. It was keto friendly. So yeah, we watched Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm going to transition here into the encouragement and business tips here, but we watched Sonic the Hedgehog, and one of the lines that he said, and if you've never watched the movie, it's a fairly new movie, came out in 2020. Jim Carrey plays the villain, and he's amazing in it. There's some great actors in it. And Sonic the Hedgehog, he's a little alien. He looks like a hedgehog. He's blue, and he escaped to Earth because he was pursued by enemies. So in order to save his life, he entered into Earth, and he was trying to find protection here. But he was alone, didn't have any friends, and met the Lord of the Donuts, which was, I don't know, he was a police officer or forest ranger. I can't remember what it was, but in any event, I think he was a police officer, and he called him the Lord of the Donuts, Donut Lord. That was it. He called him the Donut Lord because, you know, policemen and donuts. So anyway, come to find out, they are in this adventure, and this man helps Sonic as he's being pursued by people here on Earth. And so in one of the lines, Sonic says, this is my power, because he runs really, really fast. He's like light speed, really fast runner. He goes, this is my power, and he was referring to running, and I'm not going to use it to run away anymore. I am using it to protect my friends. And I thought that was such a great line in there, because he used his power, whatever power he had, to run away to protect himself. But this time he was flipping it on its head and saying, I'm going to use it to protect my friends. And you, my friends, have some type of power, superpower, some type of skill, some type of knowledge, experience, something that you can use to not only help and support, but maybe even protect people with. And so those people that create an online space oftentimes use their superpower, their power, to be able to make the lives of other people better. So I thought that was a great little line from that movie. And one of the things I wanted to share in light of that is that when we're in the online space, we have to adjust things. We often can procrastinate and wait to launch and wait to try something new, because we're waiting to make sure that it's perfect, that we've got everything figured out for the next 3 to 5 years. And what I encourage my students is to just begin. Find the door, the first door to go through, and begin and start. And this is one of the things that I did, was this broadcast. I started it, I don't think it's been maybe 2.5 weeks that I've started this, and it hasn't been that long. And even when I did my first one, I mentioned, I'm not sure how long they're going to be. I'm not sure if the content is going to change, and it still may, as far as what I'm sharing. But I said, I'm starting it and I'll adjust it along the way. And so the new time is part of that adjustment, because the reason why I picked 7:30 Pacific time originally was because my husband and I share an office, and that was the only time it could be quiet. But as I mentioned last week on a broadcast, my husband moved out. He moved out of the office, not out of the house. So he's great. He's awesome. But we were just on top of each other, with my daughter working at home, my husband working at home, I'm working at home, my daughter's online doing her school, my granddaughter is online doing school. It was getting really noisy. So we made all these little desk areas throughout the house. In the corner of the living room, and my husband in the corner of the bedroom just made a desk area. And so he's in there now. And so he's given me the office to be able to do my live streams and so forth. And so last week I was thinking, why am I still doing it at 7:30 in the morning when I can do it at 8:30 or at 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock, I already have a standing appointment, so I couldn't do it then. So that's why I switched to 8:30. But you know what? If you're doing something right now in your online business and it's not quite working, change it. I mean, the sky's not going to fall. The sun's not going to stop from rising. The moon's still going to show up. Everything is still going to keep turning and spinning. It's not going to be earth-shattering. And so a lot of what we do have to tweak. We do have to adjust. And so I just want to encourage you that if something is not working right now, in light of the pandemic, in light of the new normal that we're experiencing, you may have to adjust some things. And if some things are completely not working, maybe they need to be eliminated, and your focus needs to be in other areas that are working. So that was my encouragement for today, is just to realize that it's not in hard cement. When we start, we can adjust and tweak. In fact, we have to be relevant and to keep things at its optimum, okay? To keep it at its optimum. Now, today's title is Right Bait, Right Pond to Find Your ICA, which is your ideal client avatar. Your ICA is otherwise known as your ideal client avatar. So what is your ideal client avatar? They use an avatar as, if you remember the movie, they use an avatar to describe, if you could describe your ideal client or the person you're trying to reach, I mean, what would they look like? They'd be a man, a woman. What age demographic would they be? In their 20s, 30s, over 50? What financial status do they have? Are they middle class, upper middle class? You kind of dial this in, and it's a process to be able to dial in who your ideal avatar is, your ideal client avatar is. But once you know, you have to be able to fish with the right bait in the right pond. And here's what I'm referring to. Like, take, for example, if you were going fishing, everything that you would take with you, your equipment, your bait, and everything would be based on what type of fish you're going to fish for, right? Is it going to be freshwater or saltwater fish? I mean, that's a huge different distinction, right? Are you going to be fishing in a pond or fishing in a stream? So I don't do a lot of fishing. I've done a little bit of fishing. And when I went fishing, we went on a charter boat one time, a long time ago, and I went deep sea fishing, and it was great because you go fishing, you know, go out during the night, late at night, and you get up really, really early. And then you fish, and on the way back, they clean it and package it for you. So you get off the boat and you've got your fish all packaged, nice fresh fish. But depending on where you're going to fish, a lake, I've been fishing in a lake as well, your bait, everything's going to be different. So it's the same thing online. You got to know who you're trying to reach, In another broadcast, I talked about the principle of one. You have one audience, you have one message or one big idea, one promise, and one call to action. That's how streamlined it is. If you're trying to reach more than one audience, you're going to confuse everyone. Your messaging on your website is going to be off. You need to target one audience. Earlier I said, I help startups. That's my target. Those are the people that I help. Those people that are in the beginning stages, maybe even in the first year or two, but they're stuck. They don't have a strategy. Those are the people that I help. So you have to figure out, in order to know what pond you're going to fish in, first you need to be very clear of your ideal client avatar, have one target. Now, later on, you may find that out of those people, you may be able to segment, because those people may be interested, some of them may be interested in a different aspect of your business. Like, for example, the people that I help that are starting out, they might want to lead with video, which is great, but then they might want to know more about writing. So I can help some of those people with writing skills. Some of them may want to do more speaking. Because of my background, I can help them with their speaking skills. Some of them might want to dive into a little bit of do-it-yourself graphic design. It's one of the products I'm going to be launching this summer, in how to be able to do graphic design like a pro with very little effort. So is it going to be for the whole entire audience? No, but it'll be segmented to just those people that are interested in that. So it doesn't mean just because you're aiming at one audience that that's all you're going to teach and share. I've seen some people share things like different segments of products for an audience, and then not the whole audience would be interested in it, but part of them would be. And so you segment them out, you branch them out, and then you would sell to them those things that they're interested, that's related to the big idea, to the big message, right? Because there's a lot of pieces and components to online work. And so back to the point of the right bait and the right pond, once you know who your client is, and once you know what the message is that you want to bring to them, you begin to see where are they, and you show up where they are. Would they be most likely on social media? Would they be most likely on LinkedIn? Is it more a B2B type business or a B2C? B2B meaning business to business or business to client. And so depending on who your audience is, you would be in LinkedIn, or if it's B2C, business to client, you might be on Instagram or on Facebook. So it just depends, but it will begin to direct you where your focus should be, so you're not just everywhere and trying to reach everyone. You want to be as specific as you can. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy. It sounds easy, but then as I talk to people, I realize that they have confusing messaging only because they're trying to reach a lot of people, a broad stroke. And then people don't know, is this for me or is this not for me? They don't know, and it confuses them. So In context of the right bait and right pond, it's really ideal to figure out your ideal customer avatar. If you have a list, an email list already, and you're not sure who's jumped on that email list, quick little surveys, short little surveys is a great way to know. You could do surveys on social media too. You could do little surveys on social media. So, and by short, I mean less than 3 questions. Even 1 or 2 questions would be great. I mean, as less as you can. And I wouldn't do them that often. Like if you're going to do a survey, I used to do once a year surveys, and I had probably maybe I went over. I had 3, maybe 5 once a year to my list. But then I would offer them something in return. I'd offer them some type of digital gift in return for doing the survey. But as long as you figure out who your client is, then you know what kind of bait to offer, and then you know which pond to fish in. But that's got to be really, really clear. And then your messaging on your website, your homepage, everything is going to be all tailored to that audience. Does it mean you're not going to reach other people? Sure, you're going to reach other people, but you got to be very focused on your ideal customer avatar. So that's what I have for you today. I have a free resource on my website at marisashatter.com. You can go there and you'll see right at the top, you'll see a little place where you can go ahead and subscribe and also download. It's called 7 Ways to Earn Revenue Without a Website. I see people jumping in. Hello for those that are jumping in and liking this. Thank you so much. And you can comment on here. I should be able to see comments on this live stream. I had a few tech issues last week, but it should be good. But there on my website, you can download that 7 Ways to Earn Revenue Without a Website. And I have another freebie coming up next week as well that's related to revenue, generating revenue online. So be looking out for that. So if you're on here and you've been watching, thank you so much. I'm going to try to dial in my text so that I can see comments a little better. And the new time now is going to be 8:30, simply because I had to tweak and adjust like I was recommending to so many people and to my students as well. It just gives me a little bit more time in the morning to get that walk in the morning, have my quiet time. I felt like really rushed trying to get it done at 7:30. And so this gives me that quiet time to be able to take care of myself, get some walking in and enjoy the early morning. Because in Las Vegas, it won't be long that by 6 o'clock, it will be hot. So I have to make the most out of the morning. So have a wonderful day today. It's Monday, but it's a fresh new week. So remember that it's a brand new slate. So walk into it with expectation, anticipation, and with gratitude, and make the most out of your Monday. Alrighty, take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Pacific. Take care. Bye-bye.